Some nights the city feels like it's listening, like every streetlight already knows your name. 3 a.m. at the intersection, yellow lights blinking with nobody there. Taxi shadows sliding past me, like ghosts dissolving in the humid air. Coffee stains inside the cup holder, half a song still stuck in my head. I've been driving circles through the same streets, trying not to think about what you said. Window cracked to let the night in, cold wind brushing against my skin. Billboards glowing over empty highways, everything loud while the world stays still. And every building holds a memory, every corner pulls me back again. Funny how the city gets quieter right before your thoughts get loud again. And that's where these streetlights know me, the way they follow where I go, like they watch me lose you slowly on roads I never should have drove. Streetlights know my secret, every midnight ride, every time I almost called you and swallow back my pride. Streetlights know the silence hiding in my chest. They watch me keep on moving without ever getting rest. And these neon reflections keep dancing on my face, like the city's trying to tell me you can't break. Streetlights know my secret, better than anybody. Every road I take's back to you. Yeah. There's a diner by the riverside, yeah, still open through the pouring rain. Same old waitress wiping counters, probably knows my face by name. I sit there pretending I'm fine, scrolling through old photographs, reading conversations backwards, trying to find where we collapsed. Outside the glass, the city flickers, red tail lights like falling stars. Everybody headed somewhere while I keep driving way too far. And every song inside the speakers feels like it was made tonight for the people wide awake, trying to survive their own minds. And I swear these streetlights know me, every wrong turn that I choose, every lonely conversation I still rehearse with you. Streetlights know my secrets, every midnight ride, every time I almost called you and swallow back my pride. Streetlights know the silence hiding in my chest. Watch me keep on moving without ever getting rest. And these neon reflections keep dancing on my face, like the city's trying to tell me, oh, you can't outrun on bright. Oh, the streetlights know my secret, better than anybody. Yeah. Maybe healing is an instant, maybe peace a rising waves, maybe all these empty highways are just teaching me to stay. Maybe losing you completely isn't something hard to survive, but the moon outside my windshield keeps reminding me I'm alive. Streetlights know my secret, all the nights I disappeared, all the conversations with myself nobody else could hear. Streetlights are the breakdown, the nights I lost control, the nights I streetlights, no. Streetlights, no. Yeah. It's strange how a message can sit there for hours, like your heart waiting at the edge of a cliff, too scared to jump. Blue light glowing in the darkness, only thing awake besides me. Phone screen lighting up the bedroom, like a memory I can't leave. Your contact sitting at the top still, right where I left it months ago. Funny how I tell myself I'm healing, but I still never let you go. There's half a sentence in a text box, 3 dots frozen in my mind. I typed the truth and erased everything, at least 100 times tonight. Outside the city keeps moving, red lights drifting through the rain, but inside this quiet apartment, everything still says your name. And every word I never sent you still echoes in my chest, like unfinished conversations that never got to rest. You were the text I never sent, the truth I almost said, the midnight call I talked myself out of inside my spinning head. You were the ache behind the silence, the shadow in my room, the lights still glowing from my phone screen long after midnight blue. And every time I almost reach you, I stop myself again. Guess some people stay forever, that's a text you never sent. Still typing your name, still deleting the truth. Yeah. There's a coffee cup beside me, gone cold about an hour ago. Same playlist looping through the speakers, songs we used to drive home to. I wonder if you're sleeping peacefully, or staring at your ceiling too. Maybe somewhere in another apartment, you're fighting memories like I do. I try distracting myself lately, late night drives and crowded bars, but no matter where the night takes me, my thoughts still crash into your heart. And every notification sound makes my chest react too fast, like some small part inside me still believes we're not the past. And every word I never sent you still lingers in the air, like a room that keeps your perfume even when you're not there. You were the text I never sent, the truth I almost said, the midnight call I talked myself out of inside my spinning head. You were the A behind the silence, the shadow in my room, the lights still glowing from my phone screen long after midnight blue. And every time I almost reach you, I stop myself again. Guessing people stay forever, the text you never sent. Maybe closure doesn't happen, maybe some doors never close. Maybe love can leave the building while the feeling never goes. And maybe every unsent message still finds its way somehow, floating through the quiet darkness between then and now. You were the text I never sent, the tears behind my eyes, the conversations with your memory that still keep me up at night. You were the city after rainfall, the headlights in the gloom, the lonely glow of distant buildings inside my midnight room. And every time I almost hear you'll never return again. Guess some hearts hold on to people, like text they'll never send, soft typing sound. just a deleted tone. Maybe some words were never meant to leave the screen. Yeah. There's a certain kind of loneliness that only shows up when love starts fading, but neither person wants to say it first. Suitcase sitting by the doorway, but your jacket's still on the chair. One foot standing in tomorrow, one still tangled in the air. Kitchen lights still softly glowing, middle of another sleepless night. We keep talking in careful circles, trying not to start a fight. There's tension floating through the silence, like smoke hanging near the ceiling fan. Both of us pretending not to notice how far apart we really stand. Your eyes drift toward the window, might fall somewhere to the floor. Funny how two people can feel lonely inside the same room anymore. And every little pause between us feels heavier tonight, like love is slowly losing language right before our eyes. We're halfway between leaving and staying, somewhere between breaking and hope, holding on to each other while slowly letting go. Halfway between silence and screaming, between the truth and pretending we're fine, trying to say what's already fading, one long night at a time. And the saddest part of all this is neither one of us is wrong. We're just halfway between leaving and staying, trying to hold on, trying to hold on while slipping away. Rain keeps sliding down the windows, city lights blurring a gold. You used to reach for me instinctively, now your hands just fold. There's two glasses on the counter, neither one of them half full. Every conversation lately feels emotionally careful, and I miss the way you laugh freely before distance filled the room, before love became a question neither heart knew how to move through. Outside the traffic keeps moving, like the world still understands how to keep going forward when everything changes hands, and every word we leave unspoken builds another wall, until the love we built together can barely breathe at all. We're halfway between leaving and staying, somewhere between breaking and hope, still holding on to each other while slowly letting go. Halfway between silence and screaming, between the truth and pretending we're fine, trying to save what's already fading, one long night at a time. And the saddest part of all this is neither one of us is wrong. We're just halfway between leaving and staying, trying to hold on. Maybe love doesn't always shatter, maybe sometimes it just ends, like smoke disappearing quietly through tiny cracks in the wind. Maybe hearts can grow exhausted even when the love staying, standing at the edge of goodbye, still searching for a reason inside each other's eyes. Halfway between memories and strangers, between forever and the end, watching something beautiful weaken without knowing how to mend. And the hardest part of loving is sometimes love alone's not enough, when you're halfway between leaving and staying, but too scared to give up. Thunder rolls softly in the distance. Some relationships don't end all at once. Sometimes they fade quietly at 2 a.m. Rain always sounds different when there's nobody sitting beside you. Windshield covered in reflection, red lights stretching down the road, wipers moving like a metronome, keeping time with thoughts I can't control. There's an empty cup beside me, and your hoodie in the backseat still. Funny how I keep pretending I forgot it there by will. Gas station coffee getting colder, dashboard glowing faded blue. Every street feels unfamiliar without driving next to you. And the city keeps on breathing, even while my chest stands still. Rainwater racing down the window, like emotions trying not to spill. And every drop against the glass tonight sounds like your name somehow, like the storm outside already knows what I can't say out loud. And there's rain on the passenger side, nobody riding with me, just your memory fogging up the windows on these midnight streets. Rain on the passenger side, while headlights blur through the dark. Every highway in the city still somehow leads to your heart. And these railroads keep reflecting everything I try to hide. There's rain on the passenger side, and loneliness inside. Rain falling slow, nowhere left to go. There's a diner near the overpass, still glowing through the storm tonight. Couples laughing through the windows while I pass beneath the traffic lights. Radio playing soft confessions, songs that sound too close to home. Funny how heartbreak gets louder when you're driving all alone. I remember how you used to rest your hand against my arm, talking softly through the silence, making every road feel warm. Now the seat beside me's empty, but your outline still remains, like lovely's little ghost impressions, long after people change. And every drop against the glass tonight feels heavier somehow, like the sky itself is grieving everything we are without. There's rain on the passenger side, and nobody riding with me, just your memory fogging up the windows on these midnight streets. Rain on the passenger side, while Maybe lonely nights exist because some hearts still need the sun. Maybe every passing streetlight is another chance to breathe, even if your shadow's sitting quietly beside me. There's rain on the passenger side, but I'm still moving forward, even while your memory lingers in every passing blur. Rain on the passenger side and thunder rests over my soul, trying to find peace somewhere on these endless roads. And the city keeps reflecting everything I feel tonight. There's rain on the passenger side, but I'll survive this night. Car engine on fades in the distant rain. Some nights the road understands you better than people do. Yeah. There's a strange kind of honesty that only exists somewhere between midnight and morning, when the world gets quiet enough to hear yourself think. Streetlights stretching through the curtains, silver shadows on the floor. Clock keeps blinking for something, but sleep don't live here anymore. Phone face down beside the mattress, still hoping it might light up, even though I know deep down you already gave enough. There's a calm inside the silence, but it hurts in subtle ways, like the city finally resting while my mind stays fully awake. And the moonlight hits the ceiling like reflections from the sea. Funny how the quiet hours always tell the truth to me. And every thought gets louder when the whole world disappears. Somewhere between midnight and morning, you can hear your deepest fears. Somewhere between midnight and morning, that's where your memory lives, in the space between healing and hurting, and all the love heartbreak leaves. Somewhere between midnight and morning, I replay everything, the words we should have spoken, the songs we used to sing. And the city sleeps peacefully while my soul keeps wandering lost. Somewhere between midnight and morning, searching for peace again. Wide awake again. While the night breathes slow, taxi lights move through the distance like fireflies across the dark. Every passing car reminds me how temporary people are. Coffee growing cold beside me, jazz still floating through the room. There's comfort in familiar sadness when the night turns deep blue. I tried filling up the silence with distractions and new faces, but loneliness is perfect memory and always knows the places, yeah, where your laughter used to echo, where your hands once rested warm. Now the apartment feels nothing's easy to disguise. Somewhere between midnight and morning, that's where your memory lives. In the space between healing and hurting, and all the love heartbreak leaves. Somewhere between midnight and morning, I replay everything, the words we should have spoken, the songs we used to sing. And the city sleeps peacefully while my soul keeps wandering lost. Somewhere between midnight and morning, searching for peace again. Maybe nighttime isn't lonely, maybe it just drifts away disguised. Maybe darkness simply forces hearts to stop running from their minds. And maybe all these quiet hours aren't punishment after all. Maybe healing starts the moment you finally feel it all. Somewhere between midnight and morning, I finally hear myself breathe, past the noise and all the heartbreak, still surviving underneath. Somewhere between midnight and morning, the pain don't disappear, but the moon outside my window makes it easier to bear. And the city keeps on dreaming while I slowly learn again how to exist between midnight and morning without losing myself within. Distant traffic hum, vinyl crackle remain. Some nights are meant for sleeping. Some nights are meant for understanding yourself. Funny how silence can say more than people do. And somehow you wore it beautifully. You walked in wearing midnight colors, gold reflections in your eyes, whole room moving loud around us, but you carried quieter vibes. Didn't force a single conversation, didn't chase attention in the room. You just sat there near the window, like the moon that followed you. And your silence wasn't awkward, it felt heavy in a warm way, like somebody who's been through enough to stop wasting words away. I kept watching from a distance, trying not to stare too long, but some people shift the atmosphere without even saying much at all. And every pause between your sentences pulled me closer somehow, like your quiet had its own language only lonely hearts figured out. Silence looks better on you than small talk ever could. You were quiet like a melody, only midnight understood. Silence looks better on you, like rain against city lights, like secrets floating softly through the middle of the night. Yeah, and I don't even need explanations when your eyes tell me the truth. Some people sound beautiful talking, but silence looks better on you. There was jazz inside the speakers, low enough to table tops while shadows danced across your cheeks. You finally spoke around midnight, voice off like cigarette smoke. Every word moved slow and careful, like your heart stayed half closed. You said some wounds don't heal loudly, some people just learn to cope. Then smile like somebody trying to protect fragile hope. Outside the rain kept falling, neon signs blurred into streams, and suddenly the whole city felt suspended in a dream. And every second sitting near you felt strangely cinematic, like loneliness and beauty had finally crossed past tonight. Silence looks better on you than crowded words and noise. You move through rooms so gently, like peace without a choice. Silence looks better on you, like moonlight on the sea, like the quiet after heartbreak, when your soul finally breathes. And I don't even need explanation when your eyes tell me the truth. Some people spend forever talking, but silence looks better on you. Maybe people who feel deeply eventually stop explaining pain. Maybe quiet souls get tired of translating heartbreak every day. Maybe silence isn't empty, maybe it's where honesty survives. And maybe that's why your presence still echoes through my mind tonight. Silence looks better on you than anything I've ever heard, like poetry without speaking, like emotions without words. Silence looks better on you, still lingering in my mind, like rainwater on neon windows long after closing time. And now every crowded room feels louder since the night I met your truth. Some people leave behind memory you left behind a mood, and silence still looks better on you than anything else could. Just fades in a distant thunder. Some people don't any lie loudly, they just quietly change the atmosphere. There's a certain sadness in conversations where both people already know it's over, but keep talking anyway. Corner booth beside the window, rain sliding slowly down the glass, steam rising from forgotten coffee, while we pretend this moment lasts. And you keep stirring sugar in the silence, like it might sweeten what went cold. I keep staring at your hands, trying to recognize what changed between us both. There's jazz floating through the speakers, low enough to barely stay, and every word between us lately feels careful in exhausted ways. Outside the city keeps moving, umbrellas drift beneath the storm, while inside this little cafe everything feels emotionally warm. And every pause between our sentences feels heavier than before, like two people slowly realizing what they can't ignore. cups and empty conversations. That's all we've become tonight. Two tired souls sitting face to face, avoiding the truth in plain sight. Coffee cups and empty conversations, cold hands across the table now, trying to say what's already fading without knowing how. And the saddest thing about us is we both feel it ending too, still sipping through the silence like heartbreak, something coffee cures. Cold coffee, cold hearts. You ask me how my week's been going, I tell you fine without meaning it. You smile softly out of habit, but even that feels different. There's lipstick stains around your coffee cup, memories trapped inside my chest. Funny how familiar faces can suddenly feel like guests. I remember when we talked for hours without watching every word. Now every sentence sounds rehearsed, like emotions blurred and slurred. Outside headlights streak through puddles, silver reflections on the street, and somewhere in the middle of the silence our love quietly retreats. And every little thing unsaid tonight still hangs inside the air like smoke that won't disappear, no matter how long it's there. Coffee cups and empty conversations, that's all we've become tonight. Two lonely people dressed like lovers, trying to survive goodbye. Coffee cups and empty conversations, hands too tired to reach again, watching something beautiful collapse without knowing where it ends. And the saddest thing about us is neither one of us can move, still sipping through the silence like staying hurts less than truth. Maybe love doesn't disappear loudly, maybe it fades in quieter ways, like unfinished drinks on tables at the end of rainy days. Maybe people break slowly, one small silence at a time, until the distance between their hearts outgrows the space between their eyes. Coffee cups and empty conversations scattered like memories tonight. Everything we built together fading underneath cafe lights. Coffee cups and empty conversations, rain still falling outside, and somewhere between your silence and mine we finally stop trying. And the hardest thing about heartbreak is watching love lose its flame while sitting across from someone who once knew you by name. Distant jazz piano continues softly. Some relationships don't end in screaming, sometimes they end quietly across a table. It's 2 across a table at 2 a.m. You ever stare at your phone long enough that it starts feeling heavier than it should? Yeah. Clock says 4:13 in the morning. Blue light washing through the room. Ceiling fan turning slow above me, like it's singing something too. I got your number on the screen still, thumb hovering over your name, knowing if I hear your voice tonight, it'll pull me backward again. There's thunder somewhere in the distance, rain tapping softly at the glass, and every little sound around me feels connected to the past. I keep replaying old conversations like movies that refuse to end, trying to find the exact moment we stop being more than friends. And every lonely night gets dangerous when memories don't sleep. When the silence gets so loud, you start craving what you shouldn't keep. It's too late to call, too late to sleep, too far gone to move on, too heartbroken for peace, too late to fix us, too early to heal. Some nights loneliness feels heavier than anything real, and these midnight walls keep closing in while your memory keeps haunting me. It's too late to call, too awake to sleep, wide awake again, thinking about you. Headlights sliding past the curtains like ghosts drifting through the dark. Every passing car reminds me of nights we drove beneath the stars. There's cold coffee on the nightstand and your hoodie near the chair. Funny how people leave physically but emotionally stay there. I tried drowning out the silence with crowded rooms and louder nights, but heartbreak follows people home after every distraction dies. Now the city feels enormous and this apartment feels too still, like the world keeps moving forward while I'm frozen where we spilled. And every lonely night gets colder when you know there's no return, but your heart still keeps reaching for the thing that made it burn. It's too late to call, too late to sleep, too far gone to move on, too heartbroken for peace, too late to fix us, too early to heal. Some nights loneliness feels heavier than anything real, and these midnight walls keep closing in while your memory keeps haunting me. It's too late to call, too late to sleep, too late to call, too late to sleep. Maybe nighttime was designed for unfinished feelings and regret, for people learning how to live with memories they can't forget. Maybe healing isn't linear, maybe some wounds ache at night, maybe hearts recover slowly under moonlight after fires. It's too late to call, but I still say your name, still fighting conversations that replay inside my brain. Too awake to sleep, too exhausted to pretend like losing you completely didn't almost break me then. watching while the rain falls endlessly. It's too late to call, but you still live inside of me. Phone notification buzzes faintly, then silence. Some nights aren't about sleeping, they're about surviving your thoughts. Some people don't feel the first time you meet them. They feel cinematic, like the city created them after midnight. Purple lights across the boulevard, rainwater glowing under tiles. You walked in through the haze slowly, like a scene wrapped in sapphire. Whole rooftop moving around us, glasses clinking through the smoke. But your eyes held something quieter and all the noise those people spoke. Silver chains against your collarbone, neon dancing on your skin. And every glance you gave me felt dangerous in subtle ways again. You barely smiled when we locked eyes, still somehow pulled me close. Like your silence carries stories you'd never fully expose. And the city blurred behind you, like the world dissolved from view. The moment all those colors started shining off of you, there were neon reflections in your eyes, purple, blue and gold. Like every lonely midnight had finally taken hold. Neon reflections in your eyes, moving slow through cigarette smoke. Like heartbreak and temptation spoke a language only we spoke. And for one night the city vanished when you looked my way like that. Just neon reflections in your eyes, and no turning back. Blue neon on your skin, yeah. Music low enough for whisper, bass vibrating through the floor. You lean closer through the darkness, like you've done this life before. So some people only meet once, but stay forever in your head. Then looked away toward the skyline while the whole night burned red. Outside the rain kept falling through the glowing city haze. Taxi lights and rooftop sirens blur together underneath the gray. And somewhere in that conversation between the silence and the heat, I realized some connections aren't designed to let you sleep. And the skyline kept reflecting off the sadness in your stare, like the city itself knew you carry stones in there. There were neon reflections in your eyes, purple, blue and gold. Like every hidden heartbreak finally unfolded. Neon reflections in your eyes, like midnight after rain. Beautiful in ways that make you willingly accept the pain. And for one night the world stood still inside that rooftop view. Just neon reflections in your eyes, pulling me into you. Maybe some people learn forever, maybe the moment's dressed as fate. Tiny beautiful collisions that arrive a little too late. Maybe cities create magic for lonely souls after dark. Just enough light to remind us what it feels like to spark. There were neon reflections in your eyes, still burned into my mind like rainy streets and late night jazz. You never fully leave behind. Neon reflections in your eyes, still haunting me at night like the memory of a feeling too beautiful to fight. And every rooftop in this city still reminds me of your truth. Those neon reflections in your eyes made the whole world disappear from view. Rainfall and distant sirens echo softly. Some people feel less like memories and more like entire nights you'll never recover from. You ever notice how a city changes after somebody leaves your life? Same streets, same lights, but everything feels colder somehow. Streetlights flicker through the rainfall, silver rivers down the avenue. Taxi tires cutting through puddles, like memories cutting through me too. There's a crowd outside the corner bar, laughter spilling in the smoke. Everybody wrapped in conversations while I'm carrying ghosts. Your favorite diner's still open, coffee steaming through the glass. But now every familiar place feels like a photograph from the past. And these headphones can't protect me from the silence in my chest. No matter how loud the music gets, your absence cuts through the rest. And every block I walk without you feels heavier than before, like the city lost its heartbeat the moment you weren't here anymore. The city feels colder tonight since you stopped calling my name. Neon lights don't hit the same. Rain don't wash away the pain. The city feels colder tonight. Every street feels incomplete, like the warmth disappeared with you and left winter in me. And these midnight buildings glowing still can't help me feel alive. The city feels colder tonight without you by my side. There's a train moving through downtown, windows glowing soft and gold. People leaning into each other, trying to escape the cold. I keep walking past reflections of strangers holding hands, and every little thing reminds me of who I no longer am. You used to love these rainy evenings, said the city looked like art. Now every shining rooftop just mirrors my broken heart. And the skyline through the fog tonight feels distant in a strange way, like the whole world kept moving while I emotionally stayed. And every breath inside this weather feels sharper than before, like loneliness grows teeth when love walks out the door. stop calling my name. Neon lights don't hit the same. Rain don't wash away the pain. The city feels colder tonight. Every street feels incomplete, like the warmth disappeared with you and left winter in me. And these midnight buildings glowing still can't help me feel alive. The city feels colder tonight without you by my side. Maybe heartbreak changes weather, maybe grief rewrites the air. Maybe cities lose their color when the right person isn't there. Maybe healing takes surviving nights that freeze you to the bone. Learning how to walk the winter even when you're all alone. The city feels colder tonight, but I'm still breathing through the storm. Still carrying your memory like something sacred and warm. The city feels colder tonight, somewhere beneath the gray. Still a small surviving fire the heartbreak couldn't take away. Ooh, and these midnight streets keep going while I slowly learn to survive. The city feels colder tonight, but I'm still alive. Distant sirens echo softly through the rain. Some people leave, and suddenly even the city misses them. Some nights the room gets so quiet, your thoughts start moving like music, and suddenly you're dancing with memories again. Our apartment glowing amber softly, rain tracing patterns on the glass. Old records spinning in the corner like they're trying to hold the past. Bare feet sliding through the shadows, one hand wrapped around a drink. Whole city sleeping somewhere distant while I drown inside my thoughts again. There's a photograph beside the speaker, half hidden underneath the light. Funny how one little image can completely change a night. And the saxophone through these speakers feels too honest after two. Every note keeps sounding like the parts of me attached to you. And every memory moves slowly when loneliness fills the room. Like ghosts dressed in familiar long moments, dancing underneath the moon. I'm slow dancing with my thoughts tonight, turning circles through the dark, holding on to conversations still echoing through my heart. Slow dancing with my thoughts tonight while the city breathes outside, trying to separate your memory from the loneliness inside. And every song keeps pulling me back more slow dance with the past again. Moonlight stretching through the curtains, silver painting on the floor. I still catch myself instinctively reaching toward your side of the bed sometimes more. There's whiskey melting in the glass now. I slowly disappear into. Funny how everything around me seems to mirror what we do. I tried filling up the silence with crowded nights and strangers' names, but temporary conversations never quiet burning pain. And somewhere through the jazz and rainfall, between the smoke and midnight blue, I realize healing starts the moment you stop running from the truth. And every hidden feeling finally found rhythm tonight, turning heartbreak into movement under dim apartment lights. I'm slow dancing with my thoughts tonight, turning circles through the dark, holding on to broken pieces, still floating through my heart. Slow dancing with my thoughts tonight, while the rain keeps falling slow, learning how to sit beside the pain instead of letting it control. And every song keeps teaching me some wounds soften over time. Now I'm slow dancing with my thoughts tonight, and finally feeling alive. Maybe lonely nights exist to teach us how to hear ourselves without distractions or disguises or someone else to blame. Maybe every quiet heartbreak eventually becomes art, a melody born somewhere deep inside an aching heart. I'm slow dancing with my thoughts tonight, but the room don't feel as cold. There's peace hidden inside sadness if you let the feeling unfold. Slow dancing with my thoughts tonight, while dawn begins to rise, watching silver morning colors replace the dark outside. And for the first time in a long while, the silence feels alright. I'm slow dancing with my thoughts tonight, and surviving the night. Rain slows softly outside the window. Sometimes healing starts quietly, one slow dance at a time. It's strange how entire relationships can end in moments that look completely ordinary to everybody else, like elevator doors closing at 2 a.m. Lobby lights reflecting softly against the marble floor tonight. Outside the rain kept falling slowly, painting silver through the glass outside. You stood there holding your coat quietly, hair still damp from city rain. Both of us exhausted from the kind of silence that grows after too much pain. There were strangers crossing through the lobby, nobody noticed us at all. Funny how the world keeps moving during personal downfall. I remember trying to say something, anything to stop the drift. But heartbreak sometimes steals language right before the final shift. And every second stretched like gravity, while the numbers slowly changed. Two people standing close together, already worlds away. When the elevator doors close, something inside me disappeared. Like the city swallowed everything we spent all those years building here. When the elevator doors closed, your reflection faded slowly, and suddenly this crowded building felt unbearably lonely. And I still hear that final silence every rainy midnight since. When the elevator doors closed, so did we. Doors closing slow. Stay standing in the lobby long after you disappeared, watching numbers fall in silence like proof of every hidden fear. Outside taxis move through puddles, neon streaking through the storm. Everybody heading somewhere while my chest went emotionally numb. I replay the scene too often, the way you look before goodbye, like somebody carrying heartbreak behind carefully controlled eyes. As a every bell still haunt me, same as felt permanent somehow, like love slipping through my hands without knowing how. When the elevator doors closed, everything changed shape. The hallway lights, the rain outside, even the air felt strange. When the elevator doors closed, the night became too still, like the whole city understood what I'm trying not to feel, what I'm trying not to feel. And I still hear that final silence echoing through my chest. When the elevator doors closed, nothing felt the same again. Maybe endings aren't dramatic, maybe they arrive quietly instead. Inside ordinary moments, people replay inside their heads. Maybe goodbye doesn't always shatter, maybe it simply fades from view, like reflections disappearing slowly when metal doors close over you. When the elevator doors closed, I finally understood how quickly forever changes into something misunderstood. When the elevator doors closed, the rain kept falling outside, and somewhere between those silver walls, a part of me stayed behind. Every lonely building lobby still reminds me of the truth. When the elevator doors closed, I lost you. Soft rain and city undines dissolve into darkness. Some heartbreaks don't happen loudly, they happen in elevators, under fluorescent lights. Something about headlights at night, and disappear, kinda like people do. Curtains moving from the cold breeze, moonlight stretched across the floor. City humming somewhere distant, while I stare at the ceiling wanting more. Headlights passing through my window, painting shadows on the wall. Every beam reminds me briefly how temporary feelings are. There's a half-read book beside me, coffee cold near the bed, but my mind keeps driving backwards through old conversation instead. And the silence feels enormous, like this room grew overnight. Funny how loneliness expands after midnight every night. And every passing car below me feels like somebody escaping pain, while I stay trapped inside memories circling through my brain. Headlights passing through my window, like ghosts moving through the dark, touching every hidden corner, still surviving in my heart. Headlights passing through my window, gone before they fully stay, just like every promise we made before it faded away. And these silver flashes keep reminding me nothing lasts forever, does it? Just headlights passing through my window and disappearing again. On too fast, yeah. Rainwater racing down the glass now, blurry neon in the stream. Whole city glowing underneath me, like a living, restless dream. I remember how you loved this weather, said storms make the skyline breathe. Now every rainy evening leaves me with too much room to think. There's a record spinning softly, jazz floating low through smoke, and every little thing tonight feels in motion, exposed. I tried sleeping hours ago, but healing moves in slower waves, especially when your memory still occupies this place. And every passing light below me feels like moments slipping by, proof the world keeps moving forward even when hearts stay behind. Headlights passing through my window, like reflections from the past, breathing up to almost missing, bright enough to always last. Headlights passing through my window, while the rain keeps falling slow, like reminders that some people were never meant to stay too long. And these silver flashes keep teaching me healing isn't instant painlessly, just headlights passing through my window, while I learn to breathe again. Maybe people enter softly, light crossing through a room, leaving traces on your spirit long after they're gone from view. Maybe heartbreak isn't darkness, maybe it's learning how to see that even temporary love can permanently change things. Yeah. Headlights passing through my window, still dancing across the walls, but tonight they don't feel haunting quite the same at all. Headlights passing through my Yes, I can feel my spirit change, and every passing beam reminds me life keeps moving beautifully, like headlights passing through my window, then fading peacefully. Rain falls slow, city haunting softens. Some people only pass through your life briefly, but still leave light behind. It's strange how music changes after midnight, how memories get louder, how even silence sounds different at 2 a.m. Streetlight shadows through the curtain, silver moving across the floor, clock blinking in the darkness, like it's counting something more. There's a playlist softly looping, songs we used to drive around to. Funny how melodies survive long after people do. I hear you laugh inside the reverb, your voice hiding in the drums. Every chord feels emotionally heavier once the quiet finally comes. In the city outside my window feels distant in a blurry way, like the whole world slowly dissolves after the bars and crowds fade away. And every little sound gets sharper when loneliness fills the room, like nighttime strips away distractions and lets the truth break through. Nothing sounds the same at 2 a.m. Not the rain, not the radio, not the city breathing through the dark, or the pain I try not to show. Nothing sounds the same at 2 a.m. Every memory gains a voice, every silence grows a heartbeat, every feeling loses noise. And the songs that once felt harmless now cut straight through my chest again. Nothing sounds the same at 2 a.m. Not after you. Everything changes after midnight. Yeah. Taxi lights fly through the rainfall, painting colors on the wall. Every passing sound below me feels emotionally involved. There's whiskey melting in a glass now, smoke drifting near the fan. And somewhere inside this silence I finally understand why heartbreak visits nighttime, why memories wake with storms, why lonely souls keep driving, searching for emotional warmth. And every tiny apartment noise feels amplified tonight, like the universe turns volume up on everything you hide. And every hidden thought inside me finally starts to breathe when the world gets quiet enough to hear what's underneath. Nothing sounds the same at 2 a.m. Not these records spinning slow, not the thunder outside my window, or the tears I never show. Nothing sounds the same at 2 a.m. Every street sharpens pain. Maybe silence teaches people what daylight helps escape. Maybe healing starts the moment you stop running from the sound of your own heart breaking softly when nobody's around. Nothing sounds the same at 2 a.m., but maybe that's alright. Maybe heartbreak changes music to help lonely people survive. Nothing sounds the same at 2 a.m., but I'm still breathing through the ache, still finding little pieces of myself inside every song that plays. And the city keeps on humming while the dawn begins again. Nothing sounds the same at 2 a.m., but neither do I. Vinyl crackle continues softly. Distant thunder fades away. Some songs don't reveal their meaning until you hear them alone at night. Some names don't disappear after heartbreak. They just start showing up everywhere, in songs, in cities, in blue neon after midnight. Rain sliding down the boulevard slowly, taxi lights cutting through the haze. Whole city glowing electric blue tonight, like it remembers you the same way. There's a bar still open on the corner, smoke floating beneath the sign, and every flicker from the neon feels like a name inside my mind. I keep walking through familiar streets, hands buried deep inside my coat, trying to outrun old memories that still live inside my soul. But heartbreak has a strange way of turning cities into mirrors. Every glowing window somehow makes your absence feel clearer, and every passing reflection pulls me back into the truth, like the whole night keeps repeating little pieces of you. Your name in blue neon still glowing through my mind, like midnight signs in rainy streets, too beautiful to leave behind. Your name in blue neon burning softly through the dark, like memories painted onto every hidden part of my heart. And no matter where I wander, no matter what I try to do, the city still keeps riding. Your name in blue neon, neon, blue neon, still to me. Train tracks humming through downtown, moonlight shining off the rails, people laughing underneath umbrellas while the cold night exhales. There's whiskey warmth inside my bloodstream, but it can't erase your touch. Funny how some people leave, yet somehow still become too much. And the skyline through the rainfall looks cinematic from this height, like the city stays this heartbreak. Just for overthinkers tonight. I remember rooftop conversations, silver smoke and tired eyes. The way your voice sounded softer after 2 a.m. arrived, and every glowing color feels emotionally stained, like your memory dissolved itself into the falling rain. Your name in blue neon, still glowing through my chest, like lonely signs outside hotel rooms that never let me rest. Your name in blue neon, like moonlight after storms, beautiful in ways that make pain feel emotionally warm. And no matter where I wander or how far I disappear, the city still keeps whispering your name in blue neon. Maybe certain people linger like colors after dark, tiny glowing traces left permanently on the heart. Maybe love doesn't fully vanish, maybe it transforms instead into songs and rainy evenings and thoughts inside your head. Your name in blue neon, still glowing through the rain. But tonight it hurts a little less than yesterday again. Somewhere underneath the sadness, I can finally breathe. And every midnight city skyline now feels less cruel somehow. Your name in blue neon, still you. Distant train sounds echo softly through the night. Some people leave fingerprints, others leave entire colors behind. It's funny how one delayed reply can ruin an entire night for an overthinker. Yeah, phone screen glowing in the darkness. 14 minutes since your text. I know it sounds irrational maybe, but my mind already expects the worst. Rain keeps tapping on the window, city lights blur into streams, and every second without an answer starts creating different scenes. Maybe you're asleep already, maybe you just need your space. Maybe you're laughing with somebody who doesn't overthink this way. I hate how silence turns dangerous after midnight in my room. How tiny gaps become disasters when loneliness starts to bloom. And every little pause between us feels louder late at night, like overthinking learns to whisper in the absence of reply. Late replies and lonely nights, that's a dangerous combination for a heart that feels too deeply and a mind with no patience. Late replies and lonely nights got me staring at the ceiling, turning small delays into heartbreak and temporary silence into meaning. And the city keeps on breathing. while my thoughts keep spiraling. Late replies on lonely nights always get the best of me. Waiting on your name to light the screen. Yeah, there's cold coffee on the nightstand, jazz floating softly through the room, headlights passing through the curtains like memories passing through me too. I know I probably sound dramatic, maybe tired hearts just do that sometimes. When they've loved too hard before and carry old scars into new nights. Finally my phone starts glowing, but your message feels too brief. Funny how one tiny sentence can create or kill relief. Outside, thunder rolls softly, rain keeps sliding down the glass, and somewhere in this quiet apartment I realize this won't last. Because people who overthink everything eventually grow exhausted too, from trying to decode emotions inside every little thing you do. Late replies and lonely nights, still pulling at my chest, turning simple situations into emotional unrest. Late replies and lonely nights, while the moon hangs low outside, making overthinkers question every feeling they try to hide. And the city keeps on glowing while my mind keeps wandering free. Late replies and lonely nights still get the best of me. Maybe not every silence means danger, maybe not every pause means goodbye. Maybe tired hearts create storms underneath peaceful skies. Maybe healing means learning not every delay reply is pain, and not every lonely evening has to emotionally drain. Late replies and lonely nights still happen now and then, but tonight I'm learning slowly how not to lose myself again. Late replies and lonely nights, while the city softly sleeps, and somewhere underneath the overthinking there's still peace inside of me. And the rain outside keeps falling, but my chest feels lighter now. Late replies and lonely nights don't control me somehow. Soft phone vibration, distant thunder fades. Sometimes the hardest battle isn't heartbreak, it's surviving your own thoughts at 2 a.m. Some nights you don't drive to go somewhere. You drive because staying still hurts too much. Yeah. Keys turning in the ignition slowly, dashboard glowing faded gold, rainwater racing down the windshield like stories nobody told. There's a hoodie in the passenger seat still, your perfume barely hanging on. Funny how scents survive longer than the people they belong to. Streetlights stretching down the freeway, silver melting through the rain. Every exit holds a memory, every turn repeats your name. And the city after midnight feels emotionally alive, like lonely souls and broken hearts only fully breathe at night. And every mile keeps pulling old emotion to the surface, like the road itself remembers everything we buried in it. Just one more ride through the city before I finally let go. One more drive beneath the streetlight and the midnight glow. One more ride through the city with your memory riding too. Every rainy intersection still somehow leads to you. And these empty roads keep asking me questions I can't answer yet. Just one more ride through the city before I forget. One more ride through the night again. There's a diner near the riverside, still glowing soft at 4 a.m. Couple sitting near the windows while jazz leaks out into the wind. I stop for coffee near downtown, steam rising through neon blue. And every little thing tonight feels emotionally tied to you. Train tracks humming in the distance, taxi lights sliding through the storm. Whole city wrapped in sleeplessness, searching for emotional warmth. I thought moving on looked cleaner, less complicated than this pain. But healing sometimes sounds like tires cutting softly through the rain. And every passing building feels like scenes from old dreams, like the city keeps replaying everything we used to be. Just one more ride through the city before I close this chapter down. One more night beneath the skyline before the sunrise comes around. One more ride through the city while your memory fades slow, like headlights disappearing gently down an empty road. And these midnight streets keep teaching me some pain softens over time. Just one more ride through the city to clear my mind. Maybe roads exist for healing, for giving lonely hearts somewhere to go when apartments feel too crowded with emotions they can't hold. Maybe every rainy highway carries pieces of our grief, helping us slowly raise what we're finally ready to leave. Just one more ride through the city, but tonight feels different somehow. The rain still falls, the streets still glow, but peace is showing up now. One more ride through the city while dawn breaks through the gray. And somewhere between the headlights I can feel the pain changing shape. And these empty roads no longer feel like places I escape. Just one more ride through the city before I wake. Distant traffic dissolve slowly into dawn. Sometimes healing begins the moment you stop driving away from yourself. Nobody talks enough about sin. how it keeps memories alive, longer than photographs do. Yeah. Curtains moving from the night breeze, moonlight scattered on the floor, your sweater hanging near the doorway, right where you left it before. There's a candle burning slowly, vanilla mixing with your perfume still. Funny how a room remembers what your heart wishes it could kill. I tried to open all the windows, letting cold air flood the space, but every corner of this apartment still somehow carries your trace. And these quiet walls around me hold echoes after dark, like your laughter settles softly into every hidden part. And every breath inside this room tonight pulls memories back alive, like love left tiny fingerprints on everything inside. The room still smells like you, like midnight conversation, like rainy nights and slow dancing, and unfinished situations. The room still smells like you, like coffee at 4 a.m., like all the little moments I thought would never end. And no matter how I clean this place or rearrange the view, ain't only corner whisper. The room still smells like you, still smells like you. Yeah. There's jazz floating through the speakers, low enough to barely breathe. Same records that we used to play back when love came easily. I sit alone beside the window, watching headlights cut through rain, trying to understand how absence can physically remain. There's a coffee mug still hidden in the back part of the shelf, and seeing little things like that still emotionally undoes me. Outside the city keeps moving, people laughing through the storm, while inside this dim apartment I'm relearning emotional warmth. And every little thing you touch still quietly survives, like heartbreak leaves behind ghosts that linger after goodbye. The room still smells like you, like late night rooftop air, like soft perfume and cigarette smoke still floating somewhere here. The room still smells like you, like warmth before the cold, like the version of my heart that existed before you let go. And no matter how much time passes or what I try to do, these empty walls still whisper. Maybe healing in the racing, maybe it's learning how to stay inside spaces haunted softly, without emotionally breaking. Maybe memories aren't punishments, maybe the proof we love for real. Even if the people leave us, the feeling doesn't disappear. The room still smells like you, but tonight it hurts less somehow. The rain still falls, the city still closed, but peace is entering now. The room still smells like you, but I'm finally breathing too. still continues as distant thunder fades. Some people leave physically, but parts of them stay in the air for a long time. There's a certain beauty the city only reveals when everybody else has gone home. Moonlight, empty streets, and thoughts you can't outrun. Moonlight spilling down the sidewalks, silver shining on the rain. Taxi lights moving in slow motion, like memories crossing through my brain. Storefront signs still softly glowing, though the crowds disappeared hours ago. Whole city breathing underneath me, in a rhythm only lonely people know. Hands buried deep inside my jacket, cold air resting on my skin. Walking through familiar avenues, trying to quiet the noise within. In every empty intersection feels emotionally alive, like heartbreak and reflection, only fully awake at night. And every shadow stretching through the streetlights feels connected to my soul, like the night understands the parts of me I still can't control. Moonlight on empty street, and nobody else around, just me and all these memories. The silence never drowns. Moonlight on empty street, while the whole world sleeps tonight, searching through the dark for pieces of myself beneath the light. And these lonely roads keep teaching me some wounds don't disappear completely. Just moonlight on empty streets, and thoughts keeping me company. Walking slow through midnight, yeah. There's a train humming through downtown, windows glowing pale and gold, couple leaning into each other, trying to escape the cold. I passed the rooftop where we once stood, watching storms above the skyline, back when your hand inside my jacket made the whole night feel alive. Now the city feels much larger since you disappeared from it. Funny how heartbreak changes distance inside places you once fit. And every puddle on the pavement reflects another version of me, one still learning how to carry love and loneliness peacefully. And every passing breeze tonight feels softer than before, like the night itself is trying to help my spirit restore. Moonlight on empty street, still shining through the rain, still turning lonely memories into something beautiful again. Moonlight on empty streets, while my footsteps echo slow, learning how to sit beside heartbreak instead of letting it control. And these silver midnight roads keep proving pain can soften gradually. Just moonlight on empty streets, and healing quietly. Maybe nighttime isn't lonely, maybe it's where souls breathe free, away from all the daytime noise. than who we pretend to be. Maybe moonlight exists to remind us even darkness carries glow, and even empty streets can guide you somewhere your heart can grow. Moonlight on empty streets, and dawn approaching slowly now. The city still feels haunted, but lighter somehow. Ooh, moonlight on empty street, while the skyline turns to gold, and somewhere underneath this sadness I don't feel as cold. Every lonely road behind me led me somewhere I needed to be. Just moonlight on empty streets, and peace finally finding me. Distant train sounds dissolve into early morning ambient. Sometimes the city heals you quietly while nobody's watching. Sometimes the city heals you quietly. This one's for the people who stay away too long, thinking about old conversations, old versions of themselves, old love. Yeah. City lights bleeding through the curtains, silver shadows cross the floor. Clock keeps blinking past 4:30. Sleep don't visit here no more. There's cold coffee near the window, jazz still floating through the room. Every little sound around me feels emotionally tuned. Headlights passing through the darkness, like memories drifting slow. Funny how the quietest nights make hidden feelings show. I've been trying not to think about you, but nighttime tells the truth. When distractions finally disappear and silence fills the room, and every lonely thought inside me starts breathing after two. Like the moonlight knows the secrets I keep hiding from the truth. Quiet nights and deep thought, that's where I keep finding myself. Somewhere between heartbreak and healing, trying to become somebody else. Quiet nights and deep thought, while the rain falls outside, learning how to sit with emotion I spent years trying to hide. And the city keeps on glowing while my soul keeps wandering through. Quiet nights and deep thoughts still lead me back to you. Late night soul searching, yeah. There's a rooftop near downtown where we used to watch the storms. 'cause they make sadness feel warm. I didn't understand it back then. Now your words hit differently. After enough empty evenings and conversations with memory, there's whiskey melting in a glass now, smoke drifting near the fan. And somewhere inside this silence, I finally start to understand that healing isn't always pretty. Sometimes it's surviving nights where your chest feels emotionally heavy under silver neon lights. And every hidden scar inside me feels softer than before, like pain slowly losing power the more you stop running from it all. Quiet nights and deep thoughts still keeping me awake, but now they feel less like drowning and more like necessary change. Quiet nights and deep thoughts while moonlight floods the room, teaching me loneliness and healing can exist together too. And the city keeps on glowing like it understands my soul. Broken hearts to hear themselves without the noise of every day. Maybe deep thoughts aren't dangerous, maybe they're where growth begins. And maybe healing starts the moment you stop fighting what you feel within. Quiet nights and deep thoughts now feel different somehow. The rain still falls, the city still breathes, but peace is entering now. Quiet nights and deep thoughts no longer feel like war. They feel like conversations with the person I'm becoming more. And every lonely midnight that once felt impossible to survive led me slowly back toward myself, one quiet night at a time. Distant city ambient softens as dawn birds faintly emerge. For everybody still awake right now, still healing, still healing. Still overthinking. You're gonna be all